Good morning. My name is Gretchen Galbraith, and I'm Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. I am honored to welcome you to the 119th Commencement exercises of St. Michael's College, Dr. Richard Plum presiding. Please remain standing as you are able. Katrina Marie Gallagher, class of 2026, will lead us in the singing of our national anthem. This will be followed by the invocation led by Father Michael Carter, Society of St. Edmund, Director of Edmundite Campus Ministry. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
O good and loving God, we thank you for this day and for the wisdom to recognize our gifts and serve you with gratitude. Bless these graduates as they pursue their dreams in unexpected ways. Provide them with the courage to move beyond fear and doubt, to find strength in their capacity to care for others, and to respect the unity and diversity of humankind. Help them to be mindful that true success is born of meaningful relationships and a community that embraces peace and justice. Through your gracious Spirit, we ask that you bless them with patience as they explore new horizons. Bless them with humility in the face of success and abundance. Bless them with compassion for the poor, the sick, and the suffering. Bless them with generosity in the midst of the challenges to come. Bless them with gratitude for friends, mentors, and family who have supported them through this journey. And bless us all, family, friends, faculty, mentors, and supporters, as we share in the joy of their accomplishments. We ask this through the intercession of St. Michael and in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, God forever and ever. Amen.
Please be seated. President Plum, members of the St. Michael's College Board of Trustees, members of the Society of St. Edmund, distinguished candidates for honorary degrees, parents, relatives, friends, alumni, distinguished guests, and most importantly, members of the class of 2026, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you today. In fact, I've been reflecting on the fact that it was 4 years ago in August when I started my own journey at St. Michael's. So I have the incredible privilege and pleasure of seeing you all now 4 years later, ready to graduate. And despite the rain, it is a beautiful day. I'd like to present you the members of the dais party. Please hold your applause until the end of the introductions. I'm starting on my right, Dr. Richard Plum, president of the college, Heidi St. Peter, Vice President of Enrollment Management, Timothy Mackin, Dean of Undergraduate Education, Jennifer Purcell, Professor of History and Faculty Senate Chair, Jillian Charest, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, Father Michael Carter, Society of St. Edmund, Director of Edmundite Campus Ministry, Marnie Owen, Registrar and Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs. And on my left, in the front row, are honorary degree recipients, Shabana Basij-Razik, Donald Dion Jr., Deborah Tarrant, wife of honorary degree recipient Richard Tarrant. Our honorary degree recipients will be further introduced later in the program. Then in the back row, Michael Larson, Professor of Mathematics and Statistics, Acting Dean of the Faculty. Robert Noonan, Chair of the Board of Trustees. Father David Cray, Society of St. Edmund, Superior General. Today's ceremony is dedicated to faculty who have held important roles at the college and who are retiring with the status of emeritus faculty this year. Alain Brazard, Professor of Physics. John Devlin, Professor of Fine Arts Theater. Peter Harrigan, Professor of Fine Arts Theater. Raymond Patterson, Associate Professor of Religious Studies. Carrie Shea, Associate Professor of English. We also remember Adrienne Languasco, Associate Professor of Languages, who passed away this year. Now, it is my honor to present to you Dr. Richard Plum, 18th President of St. Michael's College.
Good morning and welcome, class of 2026. Congratulations on this day. We are so proud of you. To the families and friends who walked alongside these graduates, thank you. Your love made this possible, and your presence here today completes it. Before I go any further, I'd like to acknowledge that today is Mother's Day and to ask all of the mothers, grandmothers, stepmothers, and all mother figures to please stand if you can. Happy Mother's Day, and thank you for sharing it with our graduates. I'd like to welcome the members of the Board of Trustees, our Board Chair, Rob Noonan, members of the Society of St. Edmund, Superior General David Cray, and our distinguished guest. And to our faculty and staff, thank you. These graduates will cross the stage today because you never stopped believing that they could. I want to begin with a question that many of you already know, whether you realize it or not. Not the question of what you will do next, though that matters. I mean a much deeper question. Who are you? What will you stand for when it costs something to stand? St. Michael's has been asking you that question from the moment you arrived. Through your coursework, your friendships, your service, your setbacks, in those late-night conversations, this place has been helping you answer it. There is a second question that follows from the first, and it may be one that defines the rest of your life. It is at the heart of this institution and of the Edmundite tradition that founded it. Whose are you? What do you owe, and to whom? Only you can answer that. But your education here has given you the tools to begin answering it and the courage to live out what you find. You are graduating in a world that will ask a great deal of you. Artificial intelligence can generate information instantly. It can draft the memo, summarize the report, make the argument, and even prompt questions we may not have thought to ask. What it cannot do is exercise judgment, take moral responsibility, or decide what is worth doing and why, or at what cost to whom. Those capacities are yours. In a world where AI is reshaping entry-level jobs, that matters more than ever. Moral reasoning for deciding what is not just possible, but what is right. That is what will set you apart. That is what St. Michael's has been building in you. I think about a student responding to a call with fire and rescue in the middle of the night. Not as an exercise, not as a simulation, but because somebody needed help. In that moment, there was no script. There was no algorithm. Just judgment, responsibility, and the decision to act. That is education in its truest form. In a world where truth itself is contested, where algorithms curate reality and alternate facts crowd out evidence, the most valuable thing you carry from this place is this: the ability to reason clearly, to argue honestly, and to know the difference between what is true and what is merely convenient. That is a St. Michael's education. That is what you carry with you today. I want to say something about who you are, specifically and concretely. You have given thousands of hours to the communities beyond this campus. You have shown up in Colchester, Winooski, Burlington, and across Vermont, in classrooms, clinics, firehouses, and community organizations, not because it was required, but because it was needed. You have competed on the fields and on the courts, performed on stage, created work that will outlast this moment, conducted research, and taken responsibility for one another in ways that were sometimes visible and often not. You did not wait to finish your education before contributing to the world. You were contributing while you were in it. The world that you are entering needs exactly what you have built here. It needs people who can think clearly, act with integrity, and lead with purpose. St. Michael's has been preparing you for that, and we are confident that you are ready. Today we have the privilege of conferring honorary degrees on 3 individuals whose lives reflect what St. Michael stands for: leadership, courage, and a deep commitment to the common good. We are honored to welcome our commencement speaker, Shabana Basik-Rasik, whose life and work remind us that what education truly means when it is denied, and what is possible when it is reclaimed. From secret classrooms in Kabul to founding the School of Leadership Afghanistan, Shabana has dedicated her life to ensuring that girls have the freedom to learn, to lead, and to imagine a better future. We are also proud to recognize Don Dion, a St. Mike's graduate, a former trustee, and one of the most consequential builders this institution has produced. Over many years, Don has supported scholarships and strategic projects that advance the college in many lasting ways. He graduated from St. Michael's with honors and went on to lead companies to public offerings on the New York Stock Exchange, built a billion-dollar investment firm spanning 49 states and 11 countries, and shaped national land markets from coast to coast. Through the Dion Family Foundation, he supports Catholic education and healthcare, including veterans through the Massachusetts General Hospital's BASE program. He has spent 4 decades proving that rigorous thinking, disciplined leadership, and genuine service are not competing values. They are, as St. Michael's has always insisted, the same vocation. I want to take a moment to speak more personally about our 3rd honoree. Rich Tarrant gave generously to this institution over many years, not because it was expected of him, but because he believed in deeply what this place does and what it stands for. On and off the basketball court, Rich was always raising the bar, giving fully of himself to lift others up. He understood that an education rooted in integrity and purpose is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Rich passed away this past fall, and his wife, Deb, is here to receive his honor today on behalf of him, and we are grateful that she is here. Rich, this one is for you. It is long overdue. So who are you? You are kind, not as a personality trait, but as a practice. You have shown up for each other through a journey that has asked a great deal of you, and you have come through. You are rigorous. You have been challenged by faculty who knew your thinking, your potential, and refused to let you settle for anything less than your best. You are leaders, not because you stood in front of the room, but because you learned to listen, to ask better questions, and to act with courage when it would have been easier not to. And you belong to something larger than yourself. This is the deepest thing that this institution has tried to give you. Not a credential, not a network, but a sense of vocation. A conviction that your life is not only yours to build, but the gifts that you carry, your time, your talent, and whatever treasures you accumulate along the way are most fully yours when placed in service of something larger than yourself. And now comes the harder question. Whose are you? As you leave this campus, I ask you to carry that question with you, not as a burden, but as an anchor. Let it orientate you when the world gets loud and options feel endless. Let it remind you that the most important decisions you make are not what you will do, but about who you will become and who you will serve. You are Purple Knights. Starting today, you will join more than 23,000 alumni of this remarkable institution, people who went before you and made a difference in Vermont, in the country, and in the world. You are part of that tradition now. Go forth with integrity, go forth with discernment, and go forth with purpose. And wherever you go, remember this. The most important question is not what you will do, but how you will use the gifts that you carry. And on the day when it is hard, and there will be hard days, remember you were formed by people who believed in you before you had done a single thing to earn it. That is the Emmendite promise. It does not expire when you leave this stage. Congratulations, class of 2026. We cannot wait to see what you do next.
The Catherine Fairbanks Memorial Award and the Father Preble Memorial Award are given to students in the graduating class who demonstrate commitment and achievement related to the intellectual, spiritual, moral, and social values of St. Michael's College. The two awardees I am about to present are outstanding representatives of St. Michael's. President Plum, I am pleased to present to you the class of 2026 recipient of the Father Preble Memorial Award, Nicholas Michael Racker. Nicholas Racker from Columbia, South Carolina, is a dedicated student leader, scholar athlete, and community builder. A double major in environmental science and economics with a minor in chemistry, he is a consistent Dean's List student and has earned national and conference academic honors. He is a member of 2 honor societies and was named Knight of the Year in his junior year. Nick served as assistant captain of the hockey team in his senior year. Notably, he received the NE10 Elite 24 award as a junior. Beyond athletics, he has been deeply engaged in student leadership, serving in student government association roles. He's a 3rd-year resident assistant and has served 3 years as tri-chair of Hope Happens Here. Nick has served as a Founders Society tour guide, special events coordinator, move leader, peer tutor, and an ambassador for Be Well, Office of Admissions, and Edmondite Campus Ministry. A cornerstone of Nick's collegiate experience has been his work with the Office of Purposeful Learning, where he has served as a teaching assistant, student liaison, and peer mentor, playing a vital role in fostering student engagement. Nick's ability to uplift those around him defines his legacy as a student leader who strengthens communities and inspires engagement. Nick's going to be a strength and conditioning coach at a hockey camp in New Hampshire this summer, and we are excited to follow what comes next in his journey. Nicholas, we honor you with the 2026 Father Preble Memorial Award. President Plum, I am pleased to present to you the class of 2026 recipient of the Catherine Fairbanks Memorial Award, Angeli Waimomo Carter. Please come to the stage. Angelique Carter from Oakdale, Connecticut, is pursuing a double major in criminology and psychology with a minor in theater. She exemplifies how a dedicated student can fully integrate academic excellence with creative expression, demonstrating both intellectual depth and artistic passion. JoJo has served as president of the Student Drama Club for 2 years. She achieved a rare distinction, becoming only the 3rd student in the theater program's history to act in, design for, and direct a main stage production. This past spring, she directed Antlia Pneumatica. She was also one of a select few students from New England and Eastern New York chosen to direct 10-minute plays at the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival. Beyond the stage, JoJo is a leader across campus. She's an active member of the mock trial team, serves on the Student Government Association Executive Board, is a 3rd-year resident assistant, and works as a writing coach. She was inducted into Psi Chi, Delta Epsilon Sigma, and Phi Beta Kappa honors societies. Academically, JoJo stands out for her intellectual rigor and leadership in the classroom. She consistently engages with course material at a high level, offering insightful perspectives and asking probing questions, and approaching complex issues with reflection and critical analysis. JoJo will be attending law school in the fall. Angelique, we honor you with the 2026 Catherine Fairbanks Memorial Award. In addition to the Preble and Fairbanks Awards, St. Michael's recognizes the high academic achievement of our students through our honors program and induction into college-wide or disciplinary honors societies. You can review the names of those outstanding students in the commencement program. Congratulations to all of you and to your families and faculty who have supported and guided you in your academic pursuits. Another mark of distinction is Latin honors based on grade point average. Cum laude at 3.5, magna cum laude at 3.7, and summa cum laude at 3.9 or higher. These honors are noted in your program. Among the summa cum laude students, President Plum, we have 6 students with GPAs of 4.0 in their St. Michael's courses. Students, please stand as you are able as I call your name. Please hold your applause until the end of the list. Kathleen Ray Dean, Sarah Emily Gardella, Lawton Gerald Jones, Megan Elizabeth Corin, Victoria Grace Reed, Eleanor Grace Workman. Congratulations. Congratulations for this remarkable achievement. At the end of today's ceremony, I ask these students who have earned 4.0 GPAs to assemble at the steps at the bottom of the stage to lead the recessional out of the building along with President Plum. It's customary at commencement to have student speakers who are selected to provide reflections to their peers. Today we have representatives from both graduate and undergraduate programs. First, it is my pleasure to introduce our graduate speaker, Haley Elizabeth Jensen. Haley, please come to the podium. After graduating from St. Mike's in 2022 with a major in international relations and minors in TESOL and peace and justice, Haley spent 1 year in Thailand teaching English through Global Vision International and a 2nd year in Vietnam through the Fulbright program. Back at St. Mike's, she's worked as a graduate assistant at the Institute for the Environment and is now graduating with her Master's of Arts in teaching English to speakers of other languages. Going forward, she'll continue to bring a commitment to global engagement and dialogue-driven learning.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Haley Jensen, and I am graduating from the MA TESOL program. I am so honored and grateful to be here. I would be remiss if I didn't take a second to say a huge happy Mother's Day and give an extra big thank you to my best friend, my mother, and my biggest cheerleader on this journey. As I stand up here, I am struck with a strange mix of nostalgia and deja vu. Only 4 years ago, I was sitting in those seats for my first round here when I was graduating from my undergrad. It was also Mother's Day, as we traditionally do, and it was hot, and it was the first full in-person graduation after COVID. So it was outdoors on the library lawn, and it thunderstormed, and I was an absolute pouty, grumpy mess. But on the bright side, we got fun complimentary ponchos and diploma covers. Back then, I would have known most of you, but now I stare out at mostly unfamiliar faces. However, we are all united by one thing. We join the beautiful community of St. Michael's graduates, or Smikesers, as my mom calls them. To try and prepare myself for today, I read and watched the master's speeches from the last 2 years. They were filled with wonderful words of wisdom. The speakers seemed so confident and certain of themselves, so ready for their next adventures. But I was feeling much like I had 4 years ago. My next big adventure is still a big question mark. The girl sitting out in those chairs didn't know she was going to head off to Thailand, receive a Fulbright and teach in Vietnam, visit countries all over the world, and meet so many spectacular people. She was just focused on a soaking wet cap and gown. Today, I find myself in a similar boat, but now knowing I have the skills I need to do anything. There's been a lot of hubbub about the relevance of a liberal arts education, but I am forever thankful for the way St. Mike's prepared me for the future. Mostly, I am thankful for the community that it has created in my life. It extended beyond my undergrad years here. I felt its warmth when my former study abroad boss, Peggy, would check in on my life in Vietnam. I felt it when meeting up with one of my former classmates in Thailand, gossiping in a park like we were on the quad. And I felt it when I returned for my master's, as we celebrated new jobs, first children, and shared the heartache of our beloved program transitioning. Our classroom was our family, and it extended to all corners of the world. Now, more than ever, the ability to create a welcoming community is an incredible skill. I keep getting asked about my teaching philosophy, and my response, especially in a language learning classroom, is that I believe learning happens best when students feel welcomed, supported, and safe. In spaces like this, we can celebrate our differences and learn from each other. It is in spaces like this that we learn compassion, understanding, and resilience, characteristics that we all benefit from. We create a community in which everyone can belong. Maybe it comes from my background as a Random Acts of Kindness president here at St. Mike's. But I believe the most meaningful thing you will build after today isn't a resume. It is the culture of compassion you carry into every room you enter. It is the resilience you spark in other people simply by making sure they know their voice matters. When we lead with the heart, we don't just create a smarter world, we create a kinder one. I will always remember the words of a speaker on my study trip to Senegal. What comes from the heart goes directly to the heart. So as you head out, lead with yours. Build those bridges, make those connections, and know that you are exactly what the world needs. Congratulations, class 2026.
Thank you, Haley, for a perfect speech. Each year, the senior class selects a peer whom they respect and admire, and from whom they want to hear some final words. To speak this morning, the class of 2026 has selected Joelle Casey Cameron. Joelle, please come to the podium. Joelle Cameron came to St. Michael's College in the fall of 2022 from West Bridgewater, Massachusetts, as a recruit to the women's field hockey team. She's a health sciences major with a minor in psychology. She's demonstrated prowess on the field, breaking multiple records as a goalie and serving as captain her senior year. During the spring semester of her junior year, she took both the EMT and rescue rookie classes and discovered another passion, emergency medical services. She has excelled at rescue and is training to become a crew chief as she completes the advanced EMT course. Her classmates would describe her as outgoing, friendly, helpful, and inclusive, making her a natural role model in our beloved community. We are delighted to introduce the senior commencement speaker for the class of 2026, Joelle Casey Cameron.
Dear class of 2026, it is profound to believe that we're all joined together here for our next chapter. On August 26, 2022, I vividly remember watching everyone move into lines and alumni. The sound of your obnoxious yet amazing O-leaders yelling and our parents stressing about where to park. Our lives changed forever that day, awkwardly sharing a space with a bunch of strangers, people who we can now call our best friends. St. Mike's has its way of doing that. At first, you may feel like you're being confined to a box in your freshman year dorm, but as you go on, and if you make the most out of our beautiful home, you realize that you didn't just grow out of that box, but that box was there because it was too big to hold us. You grew into a version of yourself that's finally too big for that box. It was there to bring us together until the walls eventually fell away, leaving us with a community that stretches far beyond the 802. I am so grateful for the opportunities the school has given me. One day, I found myself talking to a St. Mike's Fire and Rescue alum, Hannah Keneally, who shared her plans to attend PA school after graduating. That immediately caught my attention. I've also been interested in becoming a physician assistant myself. A few months later, I found myself in Kate Soon's EMT class, balancing rookie classes with field hockey practices. Joining rescue has been one of the most rewarding decisions I've made at St. Mike's. And this past year, I've grown more than I did in my first 2 years of college. I've learned how to communicate with peers and patients, advocate for myself and others, stay patient, and work under pressure. My dedication to rescue comes from how much it has empowered me. The traditions, sense of family, and professionalism mean the most to me in how we shape our community. Seeing these values in our alumni inspires me to pursue becoming a physician assistant with purpose beyond what's on the surface. Our professors have prepared us for not only what our future careers hold for us, but the moments when the answers aren't in the back of the books. They taught us how to think critically, how to stay curious when things get complicated, and to find joy in what we're passionate about. While our professors gave us the tools to succeed, it was my teammates who gave me the strength to keep going. I've had the honor to play field hockey for St. Michael's these past 4 years, and the sport is one of the reasons why I came here. During my overnight visit, the players on the team and Coach Carla Hessler were so welcoming that my family and I felt like we could be at home. Since then, I've played along some of the best alumni, teammates, and coaches who I now can consider my best friends. These people that create a strong foundation for me allow me to find out who I am and who I want to be as a person. I got to learn from their mistakes, experiences, and their successes. They taught me the true Smike's way. Whether you're on a sports team, in a club, or a part of an association, we all have gained so many experiences here. Some that are life lessons and skills, but most are just simply reminders that at St. Mike's, you never have to carry your burdens or wins alone. Now, as we wrap up our time in the 802, our perspective on the world has changed from when we first arrived. So my takeaway for the class of 2026 is to always take the Smike's way wherever you go and hold on to the relationships that we've built. Because we may be walking across the stage today as individuals, but we'll be leaving Smike's today as a family. Happy Mother's Day, and congrats to the class of 2026.
Thank you, Joelle, for a wonderful speech. By conferring honorary degrees, St. Michael's College both recognizes and is enriched by individuals whose lives and achievements reflect the mission and values we share. It is our privilege to present 3 recipients for the class of 2026, each distinguished by exceptional accomplishments across a wide range of fields and endeavors. I ask you to please hold your applause for each candidate until the president confers the degree. I now invite Michael Larson, Acting Dean of the Faculty, to present our honorary degree candidates.
Will Donald Dion please come forward? And can you come over here to this X? Yeah. There you go. St. Michael's proudly confers upon Donald R. Don Dion Jr., St. Michael's class of 1976, this Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa, in recognition of his distinguished career in law, finance, and entrepreneurship, and for his extraordinary generosity and service to the college. After graduating from St. Michael's College with a degree in business and economics, Don went on to earn his JD from the University of Maine School of Law and an LLM in taxation from Boston University School of Law. He began his professional life as a CPA and tax attorney with firms including Ernst & Young and Warner & Stackpole, before moving into corporate leadership as Executive Vice President, General Counsel, and later President of Patton Financial Services. As an entrepreneur and financial leader, Don built and guided organizations with vision, discipline, and integrity. He founded or co-founded a number of successful companies throughout his career, including Litchfield Financial Corporation, later acquired by Textron Financial, and Dion Money Management, later sold to Focus Financial Partners. Most recently, he served as CEO of Inland Management Corporation and Corbel Capital in LP LLC before retiring in 2023. Today, he leads DRD Investments LLC, a family office managing a hedge fund and real estate assets. Don's professional success is matched by his deep commitment to philanthropy and service. A 4-term member of St. Michael's College Board of Trustees, Don's generosity has ensured future generations of Purple Knights can thrive. He provided the naming gift for the Dion Family Student Center and has created multiple scholarship funds supporting students from Maine and students with financial need. He is the college's most significant living benefactor and a proud member of the college's Heritage Circle and the Society of Mont Saint Michel. Does Richard read this part? Or Richard, do you read this part? No, I do read this one, okay. In recognition of your exceptional professional achievements, your enduring community commitment to service, and your profound impact on the St. Michael's College community, we are honored to bestow upon Donald R. Dion Jr., Esquire, 76, this honorary degree celebrating the lifetime of leadership, generosity, and devotion to the common good. Okay. Will Deborah Tarrant please come forward? St. Michael's College proudly confers upon Richard E. Rich Tarrant, St. Michael's College class of 1965, this posthumous Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, in recognition of his visionary entrepreneurship, transformative philanthropy, and lifelong dedication to strengthening communities across Vermont and beyond. A cum laude graduate in mathematics from St. Michael's College, Rich began his career at IBM, where he quickly distinguished himself as a top performer, earning repeated recognition as Salesman of the Year. In 1969, he co-founded Burlington Data Processing, later known as IDX Systems Corporation, which grew into a global leader in healthcare information technology. IDX later went public in 1995 and was acquired by GE Healthcare in 2006, marking one of Vermont's most significant business successes. Following IDX achievements, Rich continued to innovate. He co-founded Marathon Health, a pioneering primary care company, and led Crispus Ventures, LLC, investing in healthcare, energy, and technology. He also served as chairman and co-founder of Plasma Power and Advanced Petro Technologies, extending his entrepreneurial impact across multiple industries. Rich and his wife, Deborah, brought the same strategic vision to their philanthropy. Through the Richard E. and Deborah L. Tarrant Foundation, they supported education, healthcare, and community initiatives across Vermont. At St. Michael's, Rich helped shape the St. Michael's experience for future Purple Knights. He served on the board of trustees and provided the naming gift for the Jeremiah J. and Kathleen C. Tarrant Student Recreation Center, honoring his parents. Rich's legacy at St. Michael's also includes his remarkable achievements as a student athlete. One of the most celebrated basketball players in the college history, he was named an Associated Press first-team All-American, Catholic Small College Player of the Year, and was drafted by the Boston Celtics. His jersey, number 2, in the rafters, is retired, and he was inducted into the St. Michael's Athletic Hall of Fame in 1987. In recognition of his extraordinary achievements, his transformative impact on communities, and his enduring devotion to St. Michael's College, we are honored to bestow upon Rich E. Rich Tarrant, 65, this posthumous honorary degree, celebrating a legacy defined by innovation, generosity, and a lifelong commitment to helping others. This degree is presented to Deborah Tarrant on Rich's behalf. Will Shabana Basij Rasik please come forward? St. Michael's College proudly confers upon Shabana Basij Rasik this Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa in recognition of her extraordinary leadership, her unwavering commitment to girls' education, and her transformative impact on Afghanistan and the global community. As co-founder and president of the School of Leadership Afghanistan, SOLA, the nation's first and only boarding school for Afghan girls, Shabana has dedicated her life to expanding educational opportunity in the face of profound adversity. Her belief that educating girls is the most powerful investment in Afghanistan's future has guided her work since 2008, when she launched SOLA while still an undergraduate at Middlebury College. Shabana's commitment in education is deeply personal. As a child under Taliban rule, she attended secret schools in Kabul, risking her life for the chance to learn. Her journey later brought her to the United States as a high school exchange student and then to Middlebury College, where she graduated magna cum laude in international studies and women and gender studies. She went on to earn a master's degree in public policy from Oxford University. Shabana's leadership is defined by courage and conviction. In 2021, when the Taliban returned to power and once again threatened the education of Afghan girls, Shabana led the evacuation of her entire school community from Kabul to Rwanda. Under her guidance, SOLA has reestablished operations there with a new campus set to open this year. Meanwhile, SOLA X, an online academy that reaches girls still inside Afghanistan and around the world, has ensured that learning continues despite restrictions imposed upon them. In recognition of your steadfast dedication to girls' education, your courageous leadership in the face of oppression, and your enduring vision for a more just and peaceful world, the St. Michael's College is honored to bestow upon you, Shabana Basij Rasik, this honorary degree celebrating your lifelong commitment to empowering the next generation of Afghan women leaders. It is a privilege to honor our newest honorary degree recipient who will offer this year's commencement address.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Larson and President Plum. Hello to the administration and the staff and distinguished trustees and guests. Hello to all the parents and all the family members, everyone here with us today and everyone watching us online. And happy Mother's Day on what is already a memorable day. And hello and congratulations to all of you the students of St. Michael's College class of 2026. My name, as you know, is Shabana Basij Rasakh. I am an Afghan woman, and I am the leader of a liberation movement to end gender apartheid in Afghanistan. We operate the only school of its kind that exists on the planet. We run a campus in Rwanda, and we have innovated a digital learning platform, and we're doing what no one else is doing to reach an audience that no one else is reaching, more than 35,000 students worldwide. And we do all of this. I do all of this because I believe in hope. I believe in days like today, graduation days and commencement ceremonies. It's the culmination of the years of work you've all invested in your lives and in your education and in yourself. The work that began a long time ago, on your first day of school. I was 12 years old when I went to school for the first time. A real school, I mean. A school with desks and chairs and books and teachers. A school the way most people understand it. Before then, the only school that I had attended had been inside people's homes, secret schools. Women ran them. Women in my hometown of Kabul. The students were girls like me. We were all breaking the law because in those days, in late 1990s, the Taliban ruled Afghanistan, and it was illegal for girls to be educated. Literally illegal. So I went to secret schools. I did this for years, and after the Taliban fell, I went to a real school for the first time. It was 2002. I was 12 years old. And I remember standing in a sea of blue burqas in the courtyard of my school. I was still too young to wear one, but I was there with girls who were 14, 15, 18, all in burqas, a sea of blue. And our principal was standing in the courtyard too. She was a bit elevated, so we could all see her. She was dressed professionally, a blazer, a long skirt, a beautiful silk scarf on her hair, and she had makeup on, bright red lipstick. I was scared for her. I remember thinking, and I'm being honest here, I remember thinking, what does she think she's doing? What if the Taliban walk in? She will be in trouble. They will beat her. They will beat her to death. Why doesn't she understand? Why doesn't she know what the world is like? But I came to understand over time that she understood exactly what the world is like. And that day, the first day of school, she dressed the way she did to send a message to every girl who was in the courtyard. You don't need to be afraid anymore. You are young women attending school and learning together. You are here, and it's appropriate for you to be here. She was telling us that hope was possible, hope for a different future, a future that we as Afghan women could create and define for ourselves. It was possible. And we couldn't count on others to make it possible for us. Hope for a different future was possible, but our task was to make it real. And it's your task too. Today, your door opens. Today, you embark on your own journeys, journeys of purpose and of service to others. The world you walk into is a very different world than the one that existed when you arrived here at St. Michael's College. I've given several commencement speeches in my life, and I've never given one like this one today. And if I speak with urgency, it's because these are urgent times. You are the graduates of a truly extraordinary school, and today, and for the days to come, your task is to hold the hope for a different future, and your task is to make it real, to make that future real. Your task is to act Find your cause, pursue it, engage and be engaged, locally, nationally, internationally, wherever it may be and whatever it may be. Find your cause and act. I have devoted my life to the lesson my principal taught me on that day in the courtyard. I've created SOLA as the first and only boarding school for Afghan girls on earth. I've created it as a place where girls from every Afghan province, girls from every ethnic background, all these girls could come to us and live and learn together. I created SOLA as a place where Afghan girls would meet the sisters they never knew they had. My cause is education, girls' education. And there are no days like today for girls in Afghanistan. Women don't attend college. Girls don't attend school past 6th grade. This is the Taliban's law. This summer will mark 5 years since the Taliban returned. It was August of 2021, the month that Kabul fell, the month that SOLA evacuated to Rwanda, the month my world changed, the month the world of every Afghan woman changed. When I'm on campus at SOLA in Rwanda, I am on campus with some girls who haven't hugged their mothers since the summer of 2021. Girls who haven't held their father's hands, who haven't been in the same room as their siblings since the summer of 2021. I'm on campus with girls who gave all this away and gave all of this up, and they have done it willingly because they and their families know that education is a tool of liberation. I started today by telling you a story about a girl from Afghanistan. That girl was me. My story happened more than 20 years ago. I'm going to end by telling you a story about another girl from Afghanistan. This girl is a SOLA student. Her story happened earlier this week. I watched it in a video that was shared with me. Let me set the scene for you. You're in a living room in Afghanistan. Music is playing, pop music with words in English. A mother, a father, a little boy of maybe 6 are sitting on cushions on the floor. Another man, an uncle, is holding a phone. He's filming the family together. Mom and dad and a boy sitting on cushions arranged around a low table. And on the table is a laptop with a girl's face on the screen. She's there on a video call. She's in Rwanda, on SOLA's campus. Her family's in Afghanistan. And between them, on the table is a cake. A dark cake with white frosting, and the frosting is in the shape of the number 15. It is the girl's 15th birthday. Her mother cuts the cake. She cuts out a bite and holds it up to the laptop screen, up to her daughter's mouth, a piece of birthday cake for a girl living far away from home. A girl living at a school where her classmates helped her celebrate her SOLA sisters that she never knew she had. The pain and the beauty. You can smile and you can cry at the same time. I saw it in the video. I've learned this in my life. Birthdays, graduation days, this is what I fight for. Families and nations united in opportunity, united in hope. This is the dream that will become real. This is why I do what I do. I believe in days like today. I believe in the pain and the beauty and in the future that through our actions will become real. I believe in hope. I think we all do. I know we all do. This is what we fight for, and the fight is ours to win. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Shabana, for your timely, powerful remarks. Will the graduate certificate and master's candidates please begin to come forward? Please be sure to bring your name cards with you. The candidates before you have been recommended for the awarding of graduate certificates and conferral of master's degrees in our programs in clinical counseling psychology, education, and teaching English to speakers of other languages. Each candidate's individual credential is listed in the online program. Heidi St. Peter and Timothy Mackin will present the candidates for the class of 2026. For 5 of our students, a family member with an association to the college will participate in the awarding of the diploma. We ask that guests please do not leave your seats for picture taking during the handing of diplomas. We'll begin by presenting the candidates for graduate certificates and master's degrees. Following the conferral of those credentials, we will proceed with the presentation of bachelor's degrees candidates.
Caitlin M. Cole. Jessica Lynn Wisłowski. Danielle Louise Cummings. Bennington Arthur Erickson. Caroline Murray Gamble. Mary Dove Zern Herrera. Elsa Isadora Keppel Lohngren. Choden Palmo Lama. Renee Marie Lazat. Pamela Jo Lovely. Samuel McLean Muse. Catherine Anastasia O'Sullivan. Greer Sage Lena Sargent. Maisie Scout Shepherd. Lena Rosario Torres. Katia Nicole Ostraskis. Maeve Byrne. Daniel Joshua Cummings. Abby Marsden Farrington. Sarah Lund. Connor James Macias. Laura Peace McManamy. Samuel Kenneth Mercer. Faith E. Plouffe. Noah Memphis Urbitel. Elizabeth and Herod Wagar. Grace Elizabeth Wilcox. Sean Christopher Williams. Ilana Claire Williams. Caitlin M. Cole. Megan Marie O'Donnell. Megan Austin Smith. Andrew James Weiss. George E. Ackerman III. Sina Daly. Julianne Elizabeth DeGuardi. Ryan Christopher Hay. Haley Elizabeth Jensen. Margaret Elizabeth Loudy.
Can I have the master's degree candidates and certificates please stand? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and upon the recommendations of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you the degree of certificate for which you have been recommended with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Now for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees, Joshua Riley Adams. Muntasir Ahmed. Ashton P. Elaine. Juliana Beth Anastopoulos. Sebastian Dudonne Anderson. Jack Foster Andrews. Morgan Ashby Apple. Thomas Ash. Alexa Julissa Estete. Astrid Bach. Claire Elizabeth Barone. Mickey Bavely. Riley Christine Bowden. Nora H. Beckwith. Carly H. Bennett. Hannah Eleanor Bennett. Colin Michael Bombardier. Ashley Renee Boucher. Erin Mary Boyd. Hazel Elizabeth Bazakowski. Molly Erin Brophy. Austin Charles Brush. Rhea Elizabeth Bryant. Colin Patrick Burke. Keegan John Burke. Aiden Morrison Burns. Owen Dean Spalding Burr. Sophie Lynn Burt. Braden Michael Butler. Joelle Casey Cameron. Ryan Joseph Canty. Jack Patrick Capiello. Teresa Ellen Carbonneau. Ian Christian Carrillo. Angel Jolie Wamomi Carter. Samuel Joseph Cavosa. Alio Cisse. Brady Lewis Clark. Margaret Faith Clements. Jackson Robert Cole. Sarah Page Colony. Kira Marie Comtois. Andrew Parker Conger. Anthony James Coronado. Catherine Emily Corrigan. Haley Ann Crowell. Samuel Joseph Dalton. Chandler Jamie Davidson. Fenn Nevin Davis. Larissa Jean Davis. Kathleen Ray Dean. Isabella Rose Del Vecchio. Morgan Jessica Delorier. Connor P. Donovan. Ellie A. Drinkwater. Paige Christine Dubuque. Jack Robert Duda. Brooke Elizabeth Durkee. Kelsey Elizabeth Eastman. Brooke Elizabeth Edgerly. Ryan Marie Edwards. Robert C. Farney. John Michael Fisher. Lauren Grace Fisher. The next diploma will be presented by the degree candidate's grandfather, retired Vice President of Enrollment Management, Jerry Flanagan. Margaret Elizabeth Flanagan. Alexander Michael Foy. Ayla Marie Frankowich. Katrina Marie Gallagher. Sarah Emily Gardella. Jacob Cole Gaudet. Elizabeth Lynn Jaribi. Julianne Rose Giordano. Abigail Rose Gaida. The next diploma will be presented by the degree candidate's father, Printing and Mailing Services Manager George Goldsworthy, class of '93, Eliza Lynn Goldsworthy. Gavin Lucas Graham. Rhett Joseph Greco. Talia Francesca Guarneri. Casey Christian Michael Gunnup.
Laura Conley Harrison. Lily Grace Alexis Hartnell. Bethany Lee Hayes. Caitlin Driscoll Hers. Emily Rose Hubel. Isaac Richard Hind. Benjamin Robert Inslee. Eva L. Jolie. Braden Charles Jones. Lawton Gerald Jones. Finn McDonough Joyce. Evan James Kennedy. Grace Ann Kennedy. Ariel Caitlin Kilgore. Luago Kaiser Kipingi. Maximus Denver Coons. Megan Elizabeth Corin. Faith Ann Kosiba. Raphael John Kowal. Hannah Josephine Craw. Drew Richard Cole. Emily Elise Landry. Seth David Larson. Cassie Rebecca Lathrop. Annika Renee Lavender. Ava Diane I. Levine. Jake Ryan Leal. Kyle Brandon Lee. Jacob Leon. Jillian A. Lasinski. Preston Ryan Lilly. The next diploma will be presented by the degree candidate's mother, Library Director Laura Crane, presenting to Brian Estuardo Crane Limoges. Winnie Lynn. Jacob Robert Lincourt. Simon Mateo Lundholm. Julie Rose Leiden. Sophia Joan Lynch. Emma Ray McDonald. Ava Grace McDonough. Alvaro Macias Casorla. Samuel Burke Maderos. Cole Robert Manahan. Jacob Martinez. Patrick William Manson. Sydney Martin. Daniel Ryan McCaffrey. Carrie Joelle McCann. Andrew Joseph McCarthy. Quinn Thomas McCarthy. Emerson Grace McGillis. Hayden Christopher McGovern. Hannah Michelle McGowan. Carrie E. McKinstry. Alexander David Meek. Meena Kumari. Addison Ezra Meller. Evelyn Mercier. Olivia L. Miller Johnson. Connor Dean Mongen. Charlotte Eve Morey. Ian Richard Morse. Gavin Daniel Nelson. Anna Catherine Mary Norino. August Henry Neufer. Aaron Isaiah Nobles. Ryan Nochi. Mary Jane La Owens. Kate Estelle Oxley. Kaylee Elizabeth Palmer. Ella K. Patterson. Jillian K. Pelletier. Mikel Panine Alberti. Amelia Kathleen Perry. Ariana Marie Petta. Caitlin Ariana Pico. William Martin Pierce. Isabella Sophie Pierre. Madison Grace Powers. Isabel Deborah Priest. Thorleif Jorg Pryor. Marissa Lynn Quinn. Connor Stephen Quirback. Erica Riley Raciapa.
Lucas Anthony Rand. Silas Rasika Sullivan. Callum John Redding. Victoria Grace Reed. Sorrel Stephanie Reeves. Leaf Jesso Dyer Ritterer. Max Marshall Remis. Sebastian Alexander Rivas. Andrew J. Richard. Andras Ivan Rincon. The next diploma will be presented by the degree candidate's family friend and mentor, Board of Trustees member Jim Phelan. Elizabeth Grace Rossi. Alexa Ann Rue. Matthew James Safer. Kayla Grace Santoro. Ryan Sasenarine. Kaylee Charisma Scott. Audrey Jane Scribner. Ashley Brooke Seymour. Carson H. Shanks. Bridget Elizabeth Shaw. Ashley Ruth Silvera. Liam Haristos Mard. Camden Alonzo Simpson. Garrett M. Smith. William L. Smith. Jocelyn Rose Summers. Amelia Rose Spillane. Jesse Charles Sainonge. Maximo Steverlink. Christopher Lamar Swain. Matthew Peter Torianen. Aiden Charles Taylor. Oliver Francis Taysar. Riley Sylvia Trigub. Megan Yvette Vachon. Julius Vandenbroek. Marina Catherine Walsh. Olivia J. Warnes. Jack Daniel Weber. Dana M. Welch. This next diploma will be presented by the degree candidate's mother, Student Success Advisor Vernita Weller. Shauna Marie Bernadette Weller. Nicholas David Wheeler. Abigail Elizabeth Whitley. Dayton Tyler Wick. Jenna Grace Wilbur. Benjamin Noah Wilson. Kalin Amadiana Wilson. Eleanor Grace Workman. Damian James Wertheim. Nicholas Michael Racker. Clara Wyatt. Aurora Kayleen York. Emma Ziemba. Ken Zhao.
Will all the baccalaureate candidates please stand up? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges thereto. Congratulations. And to signify this moment of graduation, I now invite you to move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations.
It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure to introduce the president of the St. Michael's Alumni Association Board of Directors, Jillian Charest, from the class of 2004.
Thank you. I need that. Good morning.
Before we get going, I'd love to give a quick Mother's Day shout out to all the moms and mother figures here today, and a special shout out to my mom, who's sitting right up there. President Plum, members of the Edmondite community, trustee board members, faculty, staff, honorees, and our newest members of the alumni community, the class of 2026, and your families. I'm Jillian Charest, a proud graduate of the class of 2004 and president of the St. Michael's College Alumni Board of Directors. It's an honor to represent the board and officially welcome you into our community of more than 23,000 alums. As I look out among the crowd, I can't help but be reminded of my own graduation, and never in a million years did I think I would be the one up here addressing all of you. To be quite honest, it's wild. During my graduation, I remember thinking three key things. The first being that I may have had too much fun during senior week, if that is even possible. Second, these robes, 100% not breathable. And finally, how much longer does this last? So in that spirit, and as one of the last people keeping you from a delicious brunch, I will keep it brief. I'd like to take this moment to talk about community. And the word community means and feels different to everyone. But when I think of community, I think about a group of people connected by a shared interest or purpose that fosters a sense of belonging, support, and collective action. I'm certain that throughout the past 4 years, you have been building and creating your own communities. In addition to your roommates, your classmates, professors, your teammates, clubs, and organizations, your community grows even larger and is strengthened today as you become an alum. Being on the alumni board and staying connected with this wonderful community has brought more joy than I could have imagined. Reconnecting with old friends, creating new friendships, and partnering with St. Mike's to help drive alumni engagement has been an honor and a privilege. It can feel a bit intimidating during this time of change, and I hope to provide a bit of reassurance when I tell you that you have a support network within the alumni community that is ready and willing to help. Just like you, this support is adaptable. From interview prep, resume building, tweaking, to career life conversations, we have your back. It's truly a gift to be able to connect with fellow alumni that have gone through the ups and downs of life post-college. A family friend always told us that there are no strangers in life, just friends that haven't met yet. So if you find yourself wondering where to go next in your career, or even where to start, reach out. And when the time comes, we hope you'll be able to pay it forward for the next generation. I certainly don't have all the answers, and truth be told, no one does. But I want to assure you that the liberal arts education you received uniquely positions you to adapt on the fly, lead with empathy, to ask the right questions, and to lean in with curiosity, all skills that will help you find those answers. In our rapidly changing world, you'll put yourself out there, you'll have some successes, you'll also have, clearly have some challenges. And when those challenges arise, lean into the alumni network, dust yourself off, and try again. Always try again, because you are resilient. While graduation marks the end of one SMC chapter, a new one is just beginning. Peep the alumni events in your local communities and stay connected. There's a magic that happens within those meetups, and who doesn't want a little magic in their life? You have already accomplished so much. You have persevered and kept going when it was hard, and we can't wait to continue to support you and see what you do next. All right, you gorgeous graduates, it's time. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your special day. Celebrate the time with your family and friends, and on behalf of the alumni community, welcome to the club.
As our ceremony draws to a close, I want to take a moment to thank all of those individuals and offices who have worked hard to make today's celebration run so smoothly, particularly those in the President's Office, Academic Affairs, Public Safety, Facilities, Special Events, Student Affairs, Sodexo, and the Registrar's Office. Over the past 4 years, our committed faculty and staff have interacted with our students in transformational ways. I ask all of the faculty and staff who are here today to stand as you are able so that we can acknowledge and thank you for dedicating yourselves to student learning at St. Michael's College. It is my honor to introduce Father David Cray to give the benediction.
Please remain seated, and I will be brief. Almighty God, we have arrived at the end of this commencement celebration. We have also arrived at the conclusion of our graduates' residence here at St. Michael's College, and at the beginning of their bringing to the world the knowledge, the skills, and above all, the values they have learned here. We thank you for their presence among us and for the many contributions that they have made to our community. We pray that they will stay connected to St. Michael's and continue to treasure the friendships they have formed here. Graduates, you have our prayers as you go forth from St. Michael's College to do your part in making our world a better world, a world more and more conformed to the kingdom of God. In the words that the Lord gave Aaron to bless the people of Israel, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he look upon you kindly and give you peace. And may the blessing of Almighty God be upon you all and upon all of us here, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
As our ceremony ends, I ask the students with 4.0 GPAs to come to the bottom of the front stairs to lead the recessional along with President Plum. We want to invite all in attendance to a reception on the library lawn, on the library lawn immediately following our recessional. Please look for signs to find program faculty. Graduates will please pick up your diplomas in front of McCarthy Art Center on your way to the reception. Please stay seated until the graduates have recessed. As you exit the building today, we ask you to keep proceeding all the way to the green so that others behind you in the building may exit. The 119th commencement exercises of St. Michael's College are now dismissed.